Greetings, welcome, and thank you for clicking. I'm Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, supporting your journey with healing experiences, coaching, and encouragement for life's changes, challenges, and transitions. Thanks for joining me in this episode of Ask the Stones, where I offer spiritual guidance, advice, and encouragement for life's challenging questions. Greetings, welcome, and thank you for joining me for this episode of Ask the Stones. This episode's question is about meditation. Robert writes, "Here's a question for you. I've heard a lot about the benefits of meditation, but every time I try to do it, I can't sit still. What's wrong with me?" Well, thank you, Robert, for this question. Thank you for your honesty, and I appreciate the opportunity to talk a little bit about meditation. Yes, for those who aren't aware, meditation has undergone a lot of studies. It has been thoroughly studied, and we've learned a lot about meditation and its benefits. I'm sure that those listening have also heard, like you, Robert, about the benefits, but I'll just give you an idea of a few that we know about. We know that meditation, I'm going to say, let me step back. I'm not going to say we know it does this or it has this benefit. I'm going to say that we know it has the ability to. So let me couch that and say that it has the ability to improve our health with things like diabetes, asthma, anxiety, our cardiovascular system, cancer. It has been shown to improve the immune system, reduce inflammation, lower blood pressure, improve your brain functioning. We have studies showing that it can decrease depression, that it reduces stress and anxiety. There are even studies that have shown that it reduces pain, even to at times the level of painkillers. So we know that meditation has a lot of benefits. And like Robert, you have probably, those of you who are also listening, heard a lot about those benefits. So Robert, I first of all want to say, well done for attempting to benefit from the wonder that is meditation, the miracle drug that is meditation. I won't go that far to say that. Let me walk back from that too. By the way, I do have to say that I am not a medical doctor, so know that any information that I cite has been taken from my research on meditation. I've done a lot of research on meditation. However, I am not a medical doctor, and I am not a researcher I do not conduct the studies on meditation. I only read them from other sources that have cited them. So thank you for that and allowing me to acknowledge that. Well done, Robert, in your attempts to tap into those benefits of meditation. And I also want to say that, yes, Robert, you are normal, so nothing is wrong with you. The fact that you are having trouble sitting still is a normal thing. It is not abnormal to start meditation and to find challenges with this idea of sitting still. So let's talk a little bit about what meditation is first, and even maybe what it isn't. You know, the truth is, Robert, that you're going to find some conflicting ideas about meditation and what it is. And really, meditation at its core is just being still and silent. Meditation is just silence. meditation is really just stillness. And at its center, that's what it's all about. And so, when you are having trouble, when you are feeling challenged with the sitting still and the silence, this is really what meditation is all about, is that it's all about that working towards silence and stillness, and sitting in that silence and stillness, which of course is not without its struggles. You will often hear meditation referred to as a practice, and this is really what it is. It's all about practicing. And so, Robert, the chances are extremely slim that you would just be able to sit down and immediately empty your mind and be still and sit for hours at a time, cross-legged, in the lotus position, and be thinking no thoughts, and be a completely empty vessel. This is not the kind of state that you come to without some practice. So I really, Robert, want to emphasize this idea of practice in meditation. And so that when you are struggling to sit and be still and be silent, you are going to experience that. And it's most likely going to be a challenge and a struggle for you. So the first thing, Robert, is that I want to encourage you to not beat yourself up over your challenge with sitting still and being silent. Our culture is so busy. Let's just all pause for a moment and acknowledge and recognize that our culture is frenetic in its pace. We are constantly moving from one thing to the next to another. We are constantly using electronics. We are constantly on the go in our cars. We have fast food. We have instant gratification. We have 5G. We are just moving at a faster and faster pace, to the point where even doing something like driving is now even seen as a waste of time. And we need to fill up our time commuting, getting from one place to another, with something like texting. So we aren't even allowing ourselves during those times that might be quiet times of stillness to sink into the quietness and the stillness. So let's just pause for a moment and recognize that our culture is one in which we are constantly jamming it full of activity and busyness. And so, of course, Robert, in that kind of environment, you are going to feel challenged with pausing and sitting still, because it's just so counter to our culture. With our culture that is so fast-paced and so increasingly fast and increasingly focused on quickness and busyness and filling every spare moment and getting things done quickly, sitting still is going to become increasingly challenging. So let's, Robert, acknowledge that where we are culturally makes meditation, that act of sitting still, even more challenging. But let's also acknowledge that it makes it even more important. So it is even more important for us to carve out time for quiet and stillness and silence within that quickening pace. So we have those two challenging things happening, Robert, where, our pace of life is just skyrocketing. And with that pressure to enhance speed and increase productivity, we're also finding that we need even more desperately to pause and to breathe. So it is quite a challenge to be sitting still when your whole life is structured to not be sitting still. So I again, Robert, want to say well done in your attempts to be sitting still. So what more can we say about meditation and how we can get at this idea of sitting still? I really do believe that stillness is one of the core ways to deepen your spirituality and also just your sense of meaning and awareness and connection for your life. So I believe that stillness and meditation is a form of stillness. It's not the only form. I'll talk a little bit more about that, Robert, but what I mean here is that meditation is a form of stillness, and I believe that stillness is really one of the core components of a deeper, more meaningful, more fulfilled, and more spiritual life. So, I know for me personally, when I haven't been still for a while, I can really feel that need, need for stillness. I'm very blessed at this point in my life. I do meditate daily. I meditate every morning. And generally for me, as I have developed with my meditation practice over the years, and true to any practice, sometimes I practice more than others. I have at times in my life had a daily meditation practice. I have at other times not had a daily meditation practice. I have lapsed in that practice. And so, I as well have had a whole range of experience with meditation. But I can say that at this point in my life, I am very blessed that I can have a full daily meditation practice. And typically, I have found in my experience that 20 minutes is a solid amount of time for me. And that's a great amount of time for my practice. Now, I will actually also pause here and say that I am a big proponent of 20-minute spiritual practices. You will hear me talk about 20 minutes of spiritual practices like writing or walking. So I am a big believer in 20-minute practices. But this is just what I find, Robert, that works well for me. And it may not be your ideal. And you may be thinking, gosh, Christian, 20 minutes? I can't even sit still right now for 2 minutes. And that's okay, because you are going to be able to work up to finding what your ideal is. So know, Robert, that what is right for you is not necessarily what's right for someone else, but that also this is something that you can work up to. So if you are only sitting for 2 minutes right now, I want to say first and foremost, well done on those 2 minutes. Sitting down and creating conscious stillness and silence for 2 minutes is way better than 0 minutes. And it's way better than not even thinking about doing it at all. So Robert, well done with your 2 minutes. This is a good thing indeed. And the idea behind practice is, of course, that the more you do it, the better you're going to get at it. So I want to tell you, Robert, don't give up. Don't give up. If you are saying, I cannot sit still for more than 2 minutes, that is absolutely okay. Sit with those 2 minutes, but don't give up. Keep with it. Some ways that you can keep with that sitting still. One thing that I think is really beneficial for a meditation practice is focusing on your breath and just bringing your awareness to your breath in all moments. And when you find your mind straying, which of course it will, this is what the mind does. You will find it frequently referred to as monkey mind by meditators. And so monkey mind is this idea that your mind is just going all over the place. And it will. That is what the human mind is designed to do. And so when you find your mind wandering, it can be beneficial for you to just focus in back on your breath. Focus in on the breath in, focus in on the breath out, and just putting your awareness right on that breath. The breath is I believe, the number one way to bring your awareness back right to the immediate present moment. So always, always focusing on the breath as a way to bring yourself, bam, to the present moment. Bring yourself into awareness is to focus on that breath. The breath in, the breath out. By the way, with the breath, I do want to say that actually studies have shown that when your out breath is longer than your in breath, so when you exhale longer than the inhale, that actually has been scientifically shown to calm your nervous system and to help your mind to reset. So, when you have meditation instruction focusing on counting the in-breath and counting the out-breath, breathe in for 4, breathe out for 8. The truth is that the number is really not so important as the focus on the breath, and even if you want to get advanced, just making your out breath longer than your in breath. So whether it's in for 4, out for 8, in for 3, out for 7, whatever. The important thing is the focus on the breath and putting your thought on your breath. So that's one way that you can do it, Robert. Another way, Robert, is through maybe the use of a mantra. If you have a word that you keep coming back to, a word that you think of and that you can focus on. I know I personally sometimes use mantras, Hindu mantras, actually, that call on certain deities, like, for instance, Lakshmi or Durga. I might use their seed sound. It's called the seed sound as a mantra. For Lakshmi, Shreem, 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 or for Durga, Doom, 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 Doom. So I have done that in meditations too, and that can help to focus your mind. Distractions are going to come up. And distractions not only within your own mind, but also external distractions. And so know that your neighbor's dog is going to bark. And when that happens, you can actually even use that as a cue to yourself to bring yourself back to the present moment. So when distractions happen, which they will, know that that is also a normal part of the meditation practice. And sometimes it can be frustrating, but know that that is part of the journey, and you can use those cues as a moment to bring you back and center yourself. So those are some thoughts on the idea of sitting meditation. But Robert, meditation isn't just the typical sitting meditation. So you said, you're challenged to sit still. But there are other types of meditation too. Yoga is a form of meditation. Walking meditation is great meditation. So maybe the form of meditation of sitting isn't the best fit for you. So I encourage you to do some exploration of other types of meditation, other ways of being meditative, and really, Robert, at its core, other ways of being still and being silent. So, stillness, we can be moving in stillness, as strange as that might sound. The idea is really, the focus is on the awareness, the bringing yourself to the present moment, the silence. Those are the things that are really at the core of meditation. And you can do a walking meditation. You can do yoga or other types of movement meditation. So while sitting meditation, our traditional, quote, typical kind of meditation, is really beneficial, and I do recommend it, and I do recommend, Robert, as I mentioned, that you continue to try, it's not the only way. So there are other ways that you can try that really may be a better fit for you and that may still provide you with all of those really great benefits. Not only the physical benefits, the health benefits, but meditation actually also counterintuitively makes us more productive. So oftentimes we think that we don't have time for meditation and that meditation is in itself a distraction from all of the things we have to do. But meditation actually has shown to help us be more productive. We're able to center, we're able to clear our minds, we're able to focus, we're able to get more clarity, and that clarity spills over into other aspects of our lives. It spills over into the other parts of our day. So, there's this great adage that if you everyone should meditate for, and I'm not going to remember it exactly, Robert, but everyone should meditate for half an hour. And if you don't have time for that, you should meditate for an hour. The idea, of course, is that if you don't have time, then you need to make time for yourself because you are so busy and crazy and frenetic. So it's the harried, hurried, busy life that most needs the benefits of meditation. Robert, I'm also going to recommend for you, I've read quite a few books on meditation, and I think that one of the best that I have read is a book by Suze Schwartz, and it's called Unplugged. And this book is all about, it's a smaller book. It's a really a great book. I enjoyed it very much, and I think it's one of the better books, one of the best books I've read on meditation, because she really brings it down to the basics. She really, she distills the research in a very readable way. Sometimes you read books on meditation and the research is very scholarly, and it's very scientific, and sometimes, frankly, kind of dry. And Suze Schwartz's book is not dry at all, so I do recommend that. It's called Unplug. And, she, in that book, writes about, if I remember correctly, it's been quite a few years since I've read it, but she really says that, when you meditate, it's not about achieving anything. It's not about accomplishing anything. Just sitting and being quiet is the achievement. That is the accomplishment. And so that's really where the focus is. The focus is, Robert, on setting aside that time, carving it out, and being intentional about it. And if you are taking the time to sit, even if you're challenged to sit still, you are still doing it. And I want to encourage you, Robert, to keep with it. Don't give up and keep at it, because you will find that you'll get better at it. It's just like anything else. Meditation is a skill. And the more you do it, the better you get at it. So I want to encourage you to keep trying with it. And I really want to encourage any of you listening to give meditation a try, to keep at it, because I really believe that silence, stillness is so important for us, especially now where we are culturally, and how it is so countercultural, and is so important. So, Robert, let me pull a card for you, as I always do, to assist you in your spiritual journey, to assist you on your spiritual path. And Robert, I'm actually going to pull a rune for you. The runes are calling to me. And maybe you may want to use this as a word that you think of, that you focus on as you meditate. And there are so many different ways to meditate. As I mentioned, Robert, I do recommend that you continue to learn about the benefits of meditation, that you continue to learn about ways to meditate and tactics and techniques for meditation, because there are many that, there are so many that one size does not fit all. So really, I encourage you to find what works best for you. Even, I didn't mention this, but something like guided meditation, that may even help you. You don't know, so I recommend to check out all of the options and even to continue learning about the benefits, because the more you know about the benefits, the more you may be encouraged to continue with it. So these runes are like thoroughly mixed up by now. So let's just grab one. So perfect. Robert, this is the rune, the self. Self. This rune. And so, when we meditate, it really is something that we are doing for ourselves. And the focus here really is, in a meditation practice, on the self and on the improvement of the self. And so I encourage you to continue with this for yourself. And then, by extension, Robert, when we do something like meditate for ourselves, the people who we become through a meditation practice are the people who are of benefit to others and the rest of the world. So what I mean by that is that as you improve your meditation practice, as you gain more peace and clarity, as you improve your health and wellness, as you improve your emotional health and stability, you are becoming a better person, a better human, a better partner, a better parent, a better friend, a better child, a better worker. So you are bringing a better self to the world and assisting and benefiting the world with your meditation practice. So, your meditation practice begins with you, Robert, but it does not end with you. So, I encourage you, Robert, to keep at it. Maybe you can't sit still for more than 2 minutes right now, but build upon those 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a success. And maybe tomorrow you can do 2 minutes and 2 seconds. And that will be even more. But I do encourage you not to worry about the time. Don't set a timer, and don't worry about that. Just worry about being present, being still, and being in the moment. Thank you, Robert, for this question. Thank you for listening. Again, I am Christian of Standing Stones Healing Company, supporting your journey with healing experiences, coaching, and encouragement for life's changes, challenges, and transitions. Blessings for your journey. Thanks for tuning in for this episode of Ask the Stones. If you have a question for the Stones, connect with me at standingstoneshealing.com or on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube at Standing Stones Healing. Thank you, and best wishes for your journey.